Good morning and welcome to Kramer's Corner with daily technical update. It is Monday. It is the 4th of August and this video is for educational purpose only. There's no recommendation or advice whatsoever intended. And today we'll start with Amazon. That was the hardest hit of the big shares or of the Mag 7 Friday after disappointing earnings. And it got hammered by about 8% below the support here to 118.40. Could drop further. RSI closed actually below 40 threshold. There has been some warning signals here saying that, well, we have divergence on the RSI. The RSI was declining, whereas the market moved higher, and well, then it got hit by this sell-off here. It could drop further, possibly to 208. 208 and a key support where we also have the 200 moving average coming up and the 100 down here, but 200 will give some support. So even if we slide down, I think we will hold this for a while at least. The overall indices also got hit, of course, 2% almost on Nasdaq 100, but still above the support area here, 22,587 and 22,388. Pre-market here, we are bouncing a bit, 0.7% at the moment. But we have, as you can see here, we have a top reversal pattern here on the CFD, top reversal in the form of a bearish engulfing. Nasdaq 100 also bearish engulfing, the cash index bearish engulfing, taking out, you see sellers to control from the get-go on Friday. The S&P 500, here's the CFD, also lower but still above 6,200. Let's have a look at the actual index, the cash index, 6,200 still holding on, and here pre-market we are up about 0.6%, so bouncing from that area there. Dow Jones lower, below its minor support there, 43,758. I think we will also see that bounce. It's already bounced about 0.5% here pre-market, but as you will see, it looks like we have a double top in place of some sort. So what we can do is say, okay, from the valley to the peak, it's not the most perfect one. It should be almost equal height, but we reached almost 138.2 projection of this move there. Moving on to the Asian market and Hang Seng. We talked about it for the past week or so, that it could drop to test the lower rising trend line there, and it actually did it this morning, bouncing from it, dipping just below the 61.8 retracement, 24,472, and has bounced, and I think it will keep bouncing. If it crawls back above 25,000, then I think uptrend will resume, and especially if it closes above 25,177, well, then it also closed this gap here, and we could see higher levels. RSI is supporting this picture, still positive sentiment, and there was no divergence, and still no divergence on it, so we could push higher. The Nikkei future here dipped this morning to the 786 retracement at 39,761 of this uptrend here. So maybe you could bounce also here if it starts crawling back above 41,000. Then I think uptrend will resume and it will be confirmed with a push above 41,280. In the European market here, EUROSTOXX50. EUROSTOXX50 that got hammered pretty bad Friday, dropped below the 200 moving average, but trying to get back again. Also below 5,200 support there. We're now trying this morning here to get back above it. If it can close it, well, maybe there could be potential up to 5,277. But we actually established a bearish trend, lower low, lower high, and now again lower low. So if it takes out the lows from Friday, well, then the 5,100 could come under pressure. And here just very quickly at the EU50 CFD, which actually closed above its support at 5,174 and just above the 200 moving average. The DAX index also hit pretty bad Friday. Didn't get all the way down to 23,315 minor support. Strong support down here, 23,021, but we have much stronger support in this region here. 100 moving average is supporting it though. What is key to watch also, actually RSI did close below 40 threshold, so we're actually in negative sentiment, indicating we could see lower levels in the coming days. So if it takes out the lows from Friday, we could be hit with another round of selling. The German 40 CFD/future was just above support at 23,335. On the currency market forex, we had euro dollar strong bullish push Friday, spiked above the 50% of this sell-off there, almost up to the 61.8 retracement. We are still above the cloud, but there's negative sentiment on the RSI, so let's see if it takes out 113.90. Well, then we could see a sell-off down to 112. If it can stay above here, and especially if we move back above 116.40, then I think uptrend will resume. But for now, we are a little bit of in a bearish trend: lower low, lower high, and lower low. Sterling dollar cable Friday dipped to the 50% projection of this shoulder-like pattern here after taking out the support line here, the neckline. There is potential lower towards 113, maybe even 129.20. If it takes out Friday's low, then I think we will get down here in the region around that level, where we also have the 200 moving average coming up just around the 130 there. If it moves back above and closer above the neckline above 134, then we are back in neutral position and we have a new situation we have to examine. We have here the euro sterling. If the chart can get back up, euro sterling that has bounced to the 786 retracement at 87.34, just a bit more, and now setting back. Very strong bounce indeed. If it takes out the peak from today, which is at 87.37, so if it takes down that, then I think we'll see new higher levels above the peak there, and a push up to 88.25, possibly. Otherwise, expect a little bit of a setback on euro sterling. The dollar yen got hammered just below the 151. It's an early morning for me apparently. 151, and then got smashed down to the 786 retracement at 146.90 of this bullish trend there. And now we are bouncing. Still positive sentiment on the RSI, no divergence, indicating we should actually see higher highs. But it will be a little bit of a struggle. But if it moves back above 149.20, then I think that will come into play. The euro yen bounced from the support here at 169.70 and bounced 61.8 retracement of this sell-off there at 172.32. Then set back a little bit. Let's move this one. So this is the range we need to break out of. Either to the upper side, which is 172.40, or 169.70. I always add a little bit or subtract a little bit, so this is the range euro yen needs to break out of for direction. The Aussie yen bounces from the 38.2 retracement, 95.20, just above minor support here. Could bounce further. Still positive sentiment on the RSI, but it's a little bit unclear what it's actually showing. The 200 moving average is dragging it lower, but the 55 and 100 to some extent are crawling higher, so we could be locked in here for quite some time. If it takes out 97.45, 97.50 at these peaks here, then there is potential higher towards 99 and possibly higher. Otherwise, taking out the lows from today, then expect the sell-off down to 93.85-ish, I would think. The sterling yen sell-off there Friday to support at the 195.35. It took out once again the rising trend line there, and with a bang, bounce from this support, and it could crawl back above. If it crawls back above 196.65, then we could see it trying to crawl back to test the trend line there, trying to get back in that channel-like area there. But to really resume uptrend, it needs to get back above 199.55. If it takes out the lows today, well, then I think we'll see it down to the 100 moving and 200 moving averages and the 193.75 support. Aussie dollar, well, not much of direction. However, we now have a negative sentiment on the RSI. So if it takes out the lows from Friday, then I think we'll see 63.65 support here being tested. The 200 moving average will give it some support, as we can see 100 is doing at the moment. But let's see here the next few days. What I will do, I will add a very short-term retracement, a Fibonacci retracement to this. So I think if we move back above 65.50, then uptrend is likely to be established, or it could indicate higher levels towards 67. Dollar Canada got rejected here at the 100 moving average and the 138.62 peak back from May. Set back 38.2 retracement and to test the upper part of the cloud here at 137.63. Could slide lower if it drops below the trend line there, falling trend line. Then I think we could see it down to the 61.8 retracement and 136.90. However, there's still a positive sentiment on the RSI indicating that we could see a push higher, but it needs to take out the peak there from Friday for a push up to 140. Sterling Canada, holding on above 182.60. That is key support. I know we dipped below just almost to the 200 moving average. So if it takes out the lows there from Friday, then we could be hit by heavy selling again towards 181, possibly down to 180. But I wouldn't be too surprised if we see a little bit of correction. However, negative sentiment on the RSI indicating lower levels. EURUSD, well, really annoying that it doesn't do exactly as I predicted or said I thought it would do. We had a sell-off there Thursday, where it dropped lower below the key support here, just around 93, and then a massive bounce, and it has continued this morning. If we close above 93.70, then I think we could see a push up to 94.40-50 level. But we have the 100 moving average coming down that actually broke below the 200 moving average, and they're both declining. So it will put a lid on it. I think it will be limited how much we can actually move bullish here on the EURUSD. I think it will be rejected and then slide back towards 93 and possibly lower. And if it takes out the lows there from Thursday, then I think we'll see it sliding lower to 92.20. Dollar Swiss. Set back also Friday, trying to push back again, but it got down to the 61.8 retracement at spot 80 and a bit, and then has bounced. Positive sentiment on the RSI indicating likely higher levels. So if it takes out this peak here from Friday at 81.72.75, then I think we'll see it at 82.50, possibly higher. But then we have the 100 moving average coming down there, kind of putting a lid out, but it could spike higher too. This resistance there at 83.50. On the dollar index, excuse me, dollar index that got sent back here, and let me show how I work with this. So it actually reached 1.764 projection of this little correction there at 100, just about 100. So what I will do now, I'll remove this one and then add a new one and say, okay, this move up there, where are we with this? We have taken back 50% of this uptrend there. If it takes out the lows here from today, this morning, and Friday, then we have next one at 61.8 retracement and 98.08, possibly down to 97.54. But we have a positive sentiment on the RSI and no divergence indicating likely high levels. But it will be a struggle, and I don't believe it until it takes out the peak from Friday. I know it's a massive move here. but if it moves back above 99.34, then I think we'll see a push up to 100.32, 100 spot 74 in this region here. Gold bounced from just below, just above the 100 moving average, and it's back above the cloud. RSI never turned a negative sentiment. We are back above its falling trend line there. If it moves back and closes above 60 threshold, then I think we'll see a higher levels. But, and let's also add a Fibonacci to this one, see if it's any guidance at all. Let's see. There we are. Very close to the 61.8 retracement there at 33.73, but it's testing this lower rising trend line there. We have bumped the cloud, so I wouldn't be surprised if we see it pushing higher towards 3,400, which is at the 786 retracement and the longer term trend line. So they may just guideline, but you see they seem to work a bit. So RSI closes above 60 threshold, then I think we'll see higher levels on the RSI above 3,400. Silver bounced from the 55 moving average and the 786 retracement at 36.19 of this uptrend there, and could bounce further. Still positive sentiment on the RSI. It didn't close below 40 threshold. If we move back above, close getting about 37.5, then I think we could see our trend resuming. So what you will also do here, you can then say, okay, where do we have some levels to look at? We can add these Fibonacci levels. It didn't reach the 38.2 retracement, but it's actually more or less bang on the level I'm talking about, 37.50. Then I think we will see a push higher, and the next resistance will be in this region around here, just because there was a little bit of correction here, and the 61.8 retracement at 38.26.27. I close above that, then likely higher levels above 40. The platinum spiked just below support there at 1297, spiked below the 55 moving average, but then has bounced. I think, did RSI close below? No, it didn't close below 40. It actually closed smack bang on 40, as you can see there, 40 exactly, and then bounced. So let's see what will be in store for platinum here the next few days. I'll also add this one. I think we'll see a bounce higher to just maybe 1400, which is the 61.8 retracement. Moving on to copper, that got smashed, a hard hit last week. Seems to be in exhaustion mode here. RSI down around 25, 26, a little bit oversold. I think we are above the support here at 431. Could bounce up to the 464, 465, where we have the 200 moving average kind of putting a lid on it. So we could actually be trading in this range here for quite some time. I'll remove this one for quite some time. If it starts crawling above 465, maybe there could be potential up to the 38.2 retracement at 495 and the 100 moving average, also where we have the cloud area. So I will be cautious a little bit. If it takes out 430, then there could be further selling down to around 400. Moving on to crude oil and WTI, that well, it closed above the cloud here last week, but it got hammered towards the end, and really hammered Friday. Now it's testing the lower part, or bouncing from the lower part of the cloud. Still positive sentiment on the RSI, very volatile, but if it moves back above these peaks, what I will actually do, I'll adjust it. If it takes out a 70.5, then I think we could see a push higher, and then we will have really established a bullish trend to move it higher towards 75, 77. But it will be a little bit of a struggle, no question about it. We could be stuck range bound there for some time. On the Brent crude oil, got almost up to 50% of this sell-off there before being knocked down to just above the rising trend line and the 55 moving average, and now we are bouncing. If it moves back above 72 here, 71.55, then I think we will see uptrend resuming, because there's still positive sentiment on the RSI, indicating likely higher levels, no divergence, indicating actually the higher levels. However, if it takes out 68, then we could see lower levels towards 66, 65. European nat gas, that got rejected there, the 55 moving average and the 786 retracement, setting back. I think it would slide lower here, but it could be range bound here between 31.30 and 35.40, possibly up to 36.30 for quite some time. We have excuse me. We have the 100 moving average coming down to 55 already. Is giving it a hard time to the upper side. So I think we'll be range bound here for a little while. US nat gas is also taking a breather after this sell-off there. So basically, I would say between 297 below that, then I think we'll be looking at 285, possibly 275. Above 320, we could see a push up to around the 337, possibly higher up to around 350. On yields, US 10-year Treasury yields that dropped significantly Friday to 420, which was the opening price here, but the key support here at 417. But if it takes out the lows from this morning here at 420, then I think we'll be looking at 412, possibly lower. But for now, we are bouncing, and it will be a little bit of a struggle to get back up higher. 432, we have some strong resistance there. So we could be caught range bound here for a while, but can keep an eye on 420 there. That would be key. We need to get back above 440 to establish a bullish trend, but for now it doesn't look like that. And on the European yields, slightly lower Friday, but stayed above 260, 262. So it seems just to in this range here around 270, 260 without any direction. There is a positive sentiment on the RSI, no divergence, indicating likely higher levels, but for now it stays a little bit sideways without clear direction. But one thing we can see is that 272 didn't close above it at any given time. It did spike above lots of times, but it didn't close above it. So that is the key to close above. If it does close above, well, then I think we'll also take out that peak there and push higher. But for now, we are not there, and we could slide lower. If it takes out the lows from Friday there at 263, well, then we could be looking at 258. UK 10-year, that also really got pushed down hard Friday, dipped just below the 61.8 retracement at this uptrend there at 452, so I dipped a little bit lower. If it takes out the lows there from Friday at 450, and I think that actually 450 is a really key support to observe, well, then I think we will see it down here at 440 level. Could bounce a little bit further, but for now it seems to be quite heavy. Finally, on Bitcoin, that over the weekend has tested the support there at 11,752, dipped below the 112. No, it actually got to the 112. Sorry about that. 112,000 bouncing, and I think it can keep bouncing further. RSI bounced from the 40 threshold, so it's likely to keep bouncing further. The 111,752, that was actually the 55 moving average, giving it some support there. So we are bouncing now and could bounce a little bit further. Ethereum also bouncing, didn't get all the way down to the 38.2 retracement at 3,243 before bouncing. If it takes out the lows there, we can actually see it being pushed lower, maybe also below this 3,243. However, let's see, it could bounce a little bit further. And what if you're really short-term player here or a trader, well, you can look at that, reach the 38.2 retracement. If it takes out the peak from today, then we are looking at 61.8 and possibly up to the 786 retracement. All right, that's all for today. Have a nice day and talk to you later.